Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in What Lies Below, Part 2, part of our Four Keeps homebrew, actual play, long play, what have you. Today is December 2nd, 2019, and you are loved, and that is something that we feel is especially important to tell each and every single one of you at the beginning of each of our games. Because it is a true statement, and because in at least our hemisphere, things are getting kind of cold, they're getting a little bit chillier, so potentially spread some warmth around this holiday season and let those who are close to you know that you love them. It's a good thing to do. Other good things to do is consider checking us out at youtube.com/indooradventures or anywhere where podcasts are available under the same name, because that is where we update and upload all of our previous sessions. So if this is your first time joining us, consider checking those out. We also do have a Patreon set up, so if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, then you can gain access to our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. It is a good time. It also gets you access to our Discord server, which anyone can join, so consider maybe joining the link to the side of this chat or the one listed below in the description, and you can find yourself surrounded by a loving community who wants the best for you. I'm still battling with Teespring. They haven't answered any of my emails, so maybe their website is not the best for our merch, but hey, if you go to bit.ly/merchindoor, you will find yourself with a very limited supply of merch that doesn't actually have the majority of stuff that we've advertised here before. So, hey, if you want some limited edition merch, consider going there, because I don't know if it'll go to Redbubble or wherever the fuck we go next. So, we're figuring it out. With that, though, that is it for my spiel. RJ, who are you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and I'm playing Caelum, the Shatterkai Cleric Wizard.
Hello, I am LBHackEmUp, and I am playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian Fighter.
Hi! I'm Cyber. I play Archon, the Dragonborn Blood Hunter Cleric of Tiamat, and is currently in Hell.
I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener, and I'm playing Coriander the Eldrin Paladin. GB, who are you playing?
Greybeard's Tavern, and I'll be playing Ruddick Verminbane, Fighter, Gunslinger, and Ranger.
Yeah. So, with that, let us start off with the recap. So, you guys, having left Greenreach, collected all of your pets, ended up traversing all the way through a actual fast play experience to the city of Surtshellier, but not before making a quick pit stop to visit Gwen's family, get some lesser restoration soup, and meet the young man who is none other than Gwen's brother, a young halfling named Owain who just loved stories, especially being the ones told and about his sister. You guys arrived at Surtshellier, a dwarven city built into the remnants of a titan skull, and upon entering in, decided that you needed to at least find a place to stay and to rest, and that is what you did. You ended up going to the tavern known as the Journey's End, where you met with a halfling who was more than willing to pay you for your services of a job well done while in Greenreach. And it was at this time that Arjan said that he wished to be alone, possibly get some shut-eye. Gwen, you were a little miffed because nobody wanted to go and get a bath at the Temple of Soon with you, and Cori and Caelum decided that they were going to go to do a little bit of shopping while wandering around. Arjan, while you were in your room, you had a brief moment of contemplation before you used the calling card that was given to you by none other than the green head of Tiamat, Zelena. It was at this point that you struck a deal with this dragon goddess in exchange for a VIP ticket to a concert held by the Aspects of Tiamat, in exchange for holding in the Tyrant Security Group. You are on your way to do what you believe will end up freeing your patron, Tarlayan. Now, where we are going to pick up, Arjan, you have just shaken hands with Zelena, and after these green flames have wrapped around you, your vision goes white just from the sheer amount of heat, and even as you close your eyes, it seems like there is still just that brightness that seems to be pushing past the barriers of where you want your vision to end. And then it stops. But you can still feel the heat around your body, and you felt this heat once before when Newell had taken you to the 4th layer. And upon opening your eyes, you see the hellish landscape of Avernus before you. However, in front of you, rather than Zelena, the figure that had led you here, you see a green Abishai, who then seems to be wearing a blazer of sorts. And the blazer actually says event staff in Draconic along its front side. And they begin to direct you down the halls as you hear what sounds like hundreds of thousands of screaming things, not even 500 feet away from where you are, just completely encapsulated by these dark steel hallways. And as you walk, you can see out into where these sounds are coming from. And you see tieflings, you see imps, you see Abishai, you see dragons, you see all sorts of hellish creatures that are lined up at various booths and are also getting into position facing what looks like a stage that is deeply receded into the actual surface layer. And the booths, as you look, there are things like food and drink that are being served. But upon a quicker inspection, you also see that there are commemorative t-shirts that are being sold. There are figurines, there are glow sticks, there are enamel pins, there are headbands. There is all manner of merch that is just flavored for the Dragon Queens. And you can see they have the market done right. There are the figurines, for example, aren't of just the main dragon. It is of each of the individual aspects of Tiamat. And each one looks like it has a pretty sizable price tag associated with it.
So it's like a Spice Girls concert.
Oh, yes. It is very much like a Spice Girls concert.
Okay. I am gonna stop by some of these, but I'll save this for later.
Okay. All of the good merch might get picked up first, but that is the nature of attending a show.
No, I'm gonna swing by them to begin with, but I'll save the
okay
for later.
Sounds good. So you are then taken to a booth that is actually higher up to allow you to have a much better view of this concert as like you get a better look at it. That is what it very much seems to be the setting for. And you see that there is a large slab that looks like that is where the performance area is. You see a collection of tieflings and Abishai behind what looks to be a very large tapestry that is hung up, and it just says The Crown on top of it in very fancy looking draconic lettering. And these tieflings and Abishai are behind this large tapestry, and you see that some of them are pulling out horns, others are pulling out sets for other various musical instruments. It looks like this is the backing band that will be playing for Tiamat. And as everyone gets into their positions, the lights begin to fall and fade. And you can hear the infernal murmurings of the entire crowd. And at this point, the tension is palpable. And it seems like every single devil in this Colosseum is holding their breath for what is sure to be worth whatever soul debt that they have found themselves in with to whichever broker they agreed to sell passes to this show to them for the show of an afterlife time. overhead lights silhouette all 5 figures, and the performance begins. Whereas you have met them each, not each at this point, but you've met several of them in their individual forms. Each aspect of Tiamat is dressed to match the distinctions of their colors. And what you see is the green form of Tiamat, the red form, the green and the blue you are familiar with. But when you see the red form of Tiamat, you can see that she's wearing it's almost like a crop top to reveal a set of cut abs. She just seems to be the most muscular of the crew. She has short red hair that's spiked out a little bit. And she is just going along singing and dancing. And she seems to be pairing up most with the white aspect of Tiamat. The white aspect is much taller than the others. She is much bustier as well. Long platinum blonde hair that falls down her back. And she just seems to be having the most fun while up there. And you see that the blue aspect and the green aspect are also dancing amongst themselves. But there's always a little bit of tension between the two of them. And then you see the black aspect for the first time. And they stand a little bit shorter than the other aspects of Tiamat. They have large buns that are curled up on either side of their head, and you see that they are actually wearing an eye patch over their left eye, and they are also just going through the general motions of this performance. And as you watch, you understand what Newell had meant over a month ago when they had described Tiamat's performance. Each aspect's voice is so unique, and together the force that they bring forth is enough to send a wave of emotion that you can only be attributed to the senses received of eating pumpkin bread while it's still warm. There's just something very soothing and relaxing to this performance. And behind the group of the performers, you just see this small army of devils and Abishai that are playing as hard and as fierce as they can. And it seems like the 5-headed dragon goddess is using their magical powers to give the band the ability to have a much quickened tempo to actually meet these dragons. Now, as this first song ends up coming to a close, the lights fade to a deep blue, and you hear the horn section of the band pick up as vocals with a deeper register kind of fills the air. And you watch as Madri, the blue head of Tiamat, takes center. Strings and woodwinds begin to amplify from the back, and you find yourself enraptured in a narrative song describing star-crossed love and how the narrator is simply waiting to find her true one and only. And as she sings this, she always makes sure to extend out towards the crowd. You have never seen a dragon cry before, but as she lingers on one particular blue dragon up in the rafters, they just bring their clawed hands up to their face and seem to almost be bubbling with emotion at the fact that they have felt seen at this show. Now, the music continues to swell, and Zelena is brought to the forefront. Whereas Madri had a much brassier voice, Zelena's range is entirely free of constraint. She's hitting the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, and her song choice is similar to that of a swing performance, with Zelena's movements leaving the crowd wanting nothing but more. She sings of the power of love and how we are all followers of our hearts. She sings of her dreams and how she knows that with the love of the right devil, she could accomplish every last one of them. At the end of the performance, she points towards the center of the crowd with her hand outstretched before pulling it close to her chest during the crescendo of the performance. And as the crowd cheers, she takes a deep breath and, with a wink, blows a kiss into the crowd. You watch as the souls leave the forms of lesser devils that had strayed their way into the crowd, and with a mix of laughter, cheering, and utter shock and awe that is held through the crowd, you have just witnessed a slight mass murder of just tinier devils as these spirits just seem to ascend, but everyone is so hyped for the performance that they are seeing before them.
Performance to die for. Love it.
When the lights dim. And when they come back on, it first appears that there is only one silhouette on stage. But from where you are, you can see the form lean to the side, and as the other one leans to the right, it's actually the red and white aspects of Tiamat. They seem to be doing a form of duet with each other. And whereas the other forms of Tiamat were wearing more of these nice kind of flowerier dresses to match the musical vibe, these two are wearing matching oversized hoodies. And you see that the one wearing red has this large red oversized hoodie that has white stripes along it. The white form has a white oversized hoodie that has red stripes along it. And the beat here becomes punchy and seems to be a combination of woodwind, horn, and drums. And it is appropriately poignant for the severity of strength that these two seem to exude. Whereas the other sisters sang tunes of love and the powers of dreams, the red and white aspects of the dragon project songs about how large their hordes are, how attractive they are, and how they could slit Bahamut's platinum throat as a reaction and not even have to use one of their legendary actions in order to do it. Halfway through the performance, a spotlight goes out into the stadium as the two call out for the baddest devil to cheer with everything they've got. And eventually you see it stop over a bone devil that is wearing red and white glow rods upon their spines. The crowd cheers and applause, and you can see that this bone devil is doing everything in their power to hold back tears, almost through some sort of magic that you recognize to be divine. This bone devil is lifted out of the crowd by these lights, and these spotlights stay on them as they are drawn onto the stage. And as it is drawn onto the stage, the white and red aspects continue their performance as the bone devil's eyes fill with joy that is typically reserved for tricking mortals into an infernal contract. And the red aspect says, "So what's your name, Bone Daddy?" And the bone devil pauses and says, "Varion the Defiler!" And the white aspect leans in and puts a coy finger along her chin and says, "Well, today is your lucky day, Varion. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show." And their song continues. But this time it seems like they are singing it towards Varion the Defiler rather than towards anybody else in the crowd. And at the end of the song, it finishes with both of the aspects on either side of Varion, but they turn on a heel, planting a kiss on both sides of his bony cheeks. And in a moment that will stick with you potentially for the rest of your life, you see a bone devil blush as they just seem completely taken aback that Tiamat would give them smoochies. And as the aspects pull back, Varion is engulfed in red and white flames as their body turns to ash, as a soul once again leaves this form, as the crowd just cheers and goes wild over this. It is at this point that the lights go down once again. And this time, when they arise, there's just a singular spotlight on a smaller stage, or on a smaller figure standing in the center of this stage. And you hear a piano begin to pick up in the background, and as it does, the light begins to strobe, and other lights begin to strobe as well, and you can see the form of Tiamat's black aspect square off her shoulders as her legs kind of spread ever so apart. And as the piano stops, you hear a singular short breath that is then cut off with the roar of the Great Queen. And as these lights come onto this figure, they are leaning over, just growling with the force of every dragon that has ever been born in the realms. And their blackened wings extend into the rafters of this Colosseum, filling the entire stadium with just this ferocious presence. She begins to sing, and her voice is like mercury. It's heavy and malleable and dripping with a shining poison that you can't help but be afraid to touch. And she mixes in these draconic roars with lyrics that are based about the power of the dragon and how through the will of the ever-burning heart, even the gods will bend the knee to appease the queen. This realm is nothing more than a black hole of despair, but to invoke the powers of the goddess is to know true meaning. There is pain and suffering in this life and in the next, but those emotions only act to make us stronger, to make us more powerful, to give us fuel to our desire to rise above expectations and accomplish the impossible. And for the briefest moment, you swear that she looks not just at you, but right through you. Right through every devil and dragon within these stands, and you feel like this isn't a manufactured idea to fit her idol persona. This is her truth. This is what the black aspect is truly letting out, how she feels in a way that she would never be able to describe in words. And as her song reaches its climax, you can tell that even if this is an obligation to her, she stands here free to be the queen that she was born to be. There is no way for the crowd to hold their excitement as the song reaches its end, and soon the last song of the set begins. Much like the first, all of the aspects are on stage, and together they sing a farewell. It is not the end. It will never be the end. And their hearts belong to each and every one of the dedicated fans who made it here tonight. And as they finish this song, each one of the idols and aspects of Tiamat coming out to give a separate bow as part of their performance, and the crowd continues to audibly cheer. The show comes to a close. And Arjan, it is at this point that the green Abashai that seems to have been your retainer asks if you are ready to meet with the queen.
I am.
And the Abashai nods. And you are taken around, like, you have no idea where. It's hallway after hallway. You can hear the cheering fans still from outside. Some are asking for an encore. Others are just, it doesn't matter. They know that this was the performance that they paid for. They are happy. There was death. There was rebirth. There was crown. There was the group itself performing for them. And you are taken to a chamber with tiered steps that lead down. And as you look down, you can see that at 5 points of a pentagram, there are 5 separate thrones. There is a throne of sandstone, a throne of ice, a throne of what looks like logs and ivy, and all of which is in the process of decay. You see a throne made of pumice rock, this very porous kind of stone that has lava just still flowing through it. And then you see an obsidian throne that appears like there's something alive still underneath the surface. And that is where we are going to transfer over to Cori and Caelum. The two of you have decided to go out shopping in this dwarven city where you know no location. You don't know anybody except for the halfling who's already made themselves scarce. But you do have a map because you were able to purchase one. So you're feeling rather on top of your directional bearings. What would the two of you like to do?
I would like to find first a place that would buy and sell magic items.
Okay.
Not things that make you say, wow.
Make an investigation check.
If I can fucking help it. So help me God. Steven Indoor. 12.
Man, things that make you say, wow, looks like a pretty good place to buy and sell magical items in this city.
Cori, I hate everything. And he starts walking towards things that make you say, wow.
Oh, wow. It's things that make you say, wow.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is.
I don't think I've been here since, oh, fuck, don't say Saltmarsh.
Nope. It was probably
Shoutport.
Shroudport. Yes, that
That's
sounds
the
about
one.
right. I opened the flap to the tent.
And you see the same set of stairs leading downward. And upon descending into these stairs, you can see the tried and true tale of things that make you say, wow. You look in, you see that there are two heavily armored figures standing. They look like suits of armor. And at a desk in front of you, in front of a large red velvet curtain, is a countertop. And you see a small frog wearing a small top hat who just seems to be sitting there. And as you come in, the frog notices the two of you and then gives you a tiny wave. And then...
Oh, that's new. Usually they're very... What's the word? Not friendly.
Hello.
Hello. Is his name Aurelio? Yes.
And as you say his name, there is a loud sound that is like thunder cracking directly next to you, followed by a shrieking man. Just "Ah!" As you see what looks like a humanoid form. If all of their skin, muscle, and bone was removed, it was just a set of nerves looking at itself, shrieking, and then it flickers. And then there's another thundercrack sound, and the sound of the shrieking man is still there, but this time there are bones. Disappears, reappears somewhere else, more has been added onto them, and this goes on for several bursts until finally the last one, you see a man sitting there behind the counter, just, oh, excuse me. So, how can I help you? Caelum! It's been
Aurelio.
so long!
Subtle is not in your dictionary, is it?
What?
Indoor, what the fuck?
Ugh.
Divine
Sorry.
sense.
Divine sense?
Divine sense.
Nothing is coming from this guy.
Oh God.
No fae, fiend, undead.
He's just a wizard. Crazy, crazy wizard.
They dust off their shirt a little bit. This is... Which location?
This is the location in Surtshellier.
Oh, awesome. Excellent. Cool. Just had to... We're on the same page now. So, you've actually come quite a long ways. Congratulations.
Thank you. We,
Did you meet those Goliaths? 'Cause Gwen
We
was
did,
supposed to talk to them for
um,
me.
Yeah, Gwen did talk to them. I believe she has a... She
Kylan,
could
thank
inform you more in detail. Oh, who did the thing?
Kylan rated with
Kylan.
18. Is Borger
Oh,
time.
Borger time. Is it Borger time? Are we going to turn Caelum into mincemeat?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Well, is there anything that I can do for you?
Well, I was hoping to, he takes the staff of the adder from his back, and he'll present it. Thinking about selling this.
Oh? That's all right. I could take it off your hands for you. Are you looking to pick anything else up? Perhaps we could do a swapsy.
Oh, would you happen to have any spell books with the mirror image spell in them?
Spell books or spell scrolls?
Spell scrolls, either or. Something cheap. Just the scroll, if you have it.
I
That'd be
do
cool.
have just a scroll.
Yeah.
All right. So scroll, the staff. Then you would still be looking at 500 gold.
I might actually need that for what I need to do.
Oh, well, I suppose that works.
Hmm.
So?
I'll hand it to him. The command word is... And then he'll say rend in Draconic.
And the snake animates and Aurelio looks mightily shocked at this and then repeats exactly what you said to turn it back and just, we do factory resets on all magic items that we purchase from the general populace. It's just safer that way for us doing business.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you see him grab the top flap of his frog friend's face and just pull it open, and then just, like a sword swallower, just shoves the entire staff into the frog. And then pats the frog twice, and the frog looks up at Arillo, and Arillo just, all right, one, but those things really are going to kill you. And you see the frog pull out what looks like a small little cigarette book, which it opens, pulls out a singular cigarette, to which it lights it, and the frog begins to smoke. And at that, Arillo walks into the back, and without the same amount of pomp and vigor, it seems like he's a little tuckered out from his own experience arriving into the shop today. But he eventually comes back with a small satchel of gold containing 500 gold pieces, as well as a scroll of mirror image.
Always a pleasure doing business with you, Arillo.
And while Arillo was away, the frog finished its cigarette, but decided to just ash it directly out onto the table itself, where all of the business is done. Frogs put up with a lot of bullshit.
Yeah. I cast mending on the table really quickly to get off the burn marks.
And the frog looks at you disdainfully.
You don't want to get in trouble now, do you? I know he's a DAC, but like, it's your job.
The frog just seems very nonplussed about this whole interaction. But yes, you do eventually get your money, you get your scroll, and Arillo says, "Is there? Well, what about you? Didn't you have 2 arms last time I saw you?"
Cori will, like, kind of self-consciously throw her cape over the missing arm, and she'll say, "Oh, well, you know, things happen. You wouldn't happen to sell jewels now, would you?"
Do I sell jewels? Yes, I sell jewels. Jewels are used in magical things sometimes. What kind of jewels are you looking for?
Oh, could I peruse your diamonds?
Yes. Anything else? Takes me a little bit to go into our inventory system and then come back. Is there any diamonds? What
Cori,
size? Are we looking for big diamonds, small diamonds, medium diamonds, diamonds at a certain price point, diamond dust? What kind of...
Roughly, about 300 gold worth of diamond a piece, and preferably something that could be either fitted into a piece of jewelry that could easily be worn on someone's person.
Are you just looking for, like, diamond jewelry, or are you looking for diamonds to be inserted into jewelry?
Can you still use jewelry for spellcasting?
Yes?
It's component.
So that.
And he just sort of shrugs his shoulders. And he seems to sink directly in front of you. And there even is a kind of watery sound to go with it. And then eventually you hear a splashing, a gasping for air, and then Arillo comes back completely soaked. But he has a small box with him that he opens up and reveals that there are rings, necklaces, earrings, what have you, a variety of jewelry, all containing diamonds of the price point that you seek.
Excellent. And Cori will just kind of shop and like actually poke Caelum every now and then and ask for his opinion, and just be like, what do you think Arjan would like a ring, or maybe like a necklace?
Well, maybe a ring. Necklaces kind of, he has one already, so I don't know if he wants to double up on that.
Would you be able to use mending to change the ring size?
We could always get it refitted.
Okay.
Mending only fixes breaks, not resizing.
All right. And Cori will pick something out for each person. We'll probably figure it out later. But she's gonna pick something out for everybody. Though she would specifically ask Caelum's opinion.
Okay.
Gwen would totally be cool with like an earring, or maybe like a nose ring,
Belly button?
belly button. I don't know if she has pierced ears.
Well, Knights in the Courtyard, what you got, everybody. Give you some time to think. So, the two of you are going to continue shopping during this time. Gwen, what would you like to do during this moment of downtime? Arjan has said that he was going to take some time to himself. Make a perception check.
Okay. First roll of the night. Below average, but that's fine, you know. I apparently have a lot of tabs open, which isn't great. That's a 10.
Okay. So with a 10, your room is adjacent to where Arjan's room is, and you are bored. Arjan's acting boring. Cori and Caelum are acting boring. And then you hear what sounds like a feminine voice coming from Arjan's room. And then there's like a hushed interaction between the two of them, but you didn't hear a door open. You're fairly certain Arjan might have talked to the bartender and had a lady waiting in his room already.
What?
Seems very out of place for him, but you're like 110% sure.
Gwen is like at the wall with her hands cupping her ear, like, the fuck? Does she hear anything?
She hears the dulcet tones of a hushed conversation, but you can't make out any particular words from this side of the wall. You're fairly certain that if you got close to, say, the door, you'd probably be able to have an easier time listening than through a wall, especially in a tavern where the walls are built so you can't hear the person adjacent to you.
Right. Okay.
It's all interconic.
Yeah. Would it be easier to go and hang out the window, be able to hear?
Make an insight check.
Okay. No, I rolled a 3.
Oh, it would totally make sense to lean out the window to look at all of this.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get from my window to their window and.
Okay, make an athletics check.
100% creep. Jesus Christ, dice. That's a 10. You can go back in your little house. That's where you can go.
With a 10, you are able to get close enough that you can peek in through the bottom corner of this window, which, Arjan, had you been looking out for your halfling companion peering in through a window while you were talking with your deity, you might have seen the yellowed mane of Gwen's hair poking up more than just her eye at the corner of this windowsill. Gwen, you see that Arjan is sitting at a stone table talking with a woman with longer greenish hair, wearing very nice green colored clothing. And at a certain point, you see her extend her hand out towards Arjan, and Arjan reaches out with his hand. The two of them shake and then are engulfed in a green flame. I need you to make a dexterity save as the blinding light hits you at the corner of this building.
That's way better. The dex save is a filthy 20.
Okay, so you manage to hold on to the side of this building instead of reaching to cover your eyes, so you just sort of avert your gaze. And when you look back into the room, Arjan's gone. The woman is gone. All of Arjan's things are gone.
Can I open this window?
Make an athletics check.
19.
You can totally open this window.
Okay, I'm gonna open the window and go inside, and I'm gonna just Arjan.
It smells like
Arjan!
sulfur.
Ugh, sounds like someone farted in here. I'm gonna start I'm gonna start trying to investigate.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Gwen doesn't know what to look for. I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
Roll to 17. -1.
Okay. So everything being made of stone in here makes it pretty easy to do like general checkups, but you aren't letting that stop you. And you start going through, like, you start tapping on everything, trying to find the hidden door. Where's the magical mechanism that took your friend? Arjan, when you return to your room later, it's going to be trashed.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Wouldn't be the first time that Gwen has done this. Specifically to Arjan.
Shut up.
Gwen, is there anything else that you would like to do now that you have come to realize that Arjan has disappeared?
Yeah, Gwen's gonna bust out of the room, like full on just kick the door open, and then like try to go find her friends.
Okay. Gwen, make
In
an
a
investigation check.
Oh, okay. 6.
Okay. It's going to take you quite some time.
That's fine.
So Gwen, especially because the two of them left without, Caelum and Cori left without really saying where they were going. So you are now just running through this dwarven city.
Yeah. Caelum! Cori!
Just yelling for people. So, Arjan, you stand at the center of this chamber, having been ushered down by this Abishai. And as you stand in this raised platform, there is a flash of color of 5 very specific colors. And on each of the thrones, you see the aspects of Tiamat arise. And it is Madri to start, then Zelena, so blue and green, and then red and white seem to almost appear simultaneously next to each other, and they're still giggling about the performance that they had. And then the black aspect appears, and while the others had appeared resting in their chairs, she is standing, and she is looking directly at you, and she gives a nod towards you. And her expression doesn't betray any emotion.
I'll like lower my head.
And you hear the other two laughing of the red and white aspects. And the red one slaps the white one's back and said, "Oh my God, Billy, did you see? Did you see? How he looked so stupid. He looked so stupid before he ended up bursting into flames." And the white aspect, who has been identified as Billy, says, "I don't know, Cravenna, I think he was a little sweet." And that Zelena just pinches the bridge of her nose and, "Will the two of you please take this seriously? This young man has come an awful long way and has offered us, well, quite a rather good deal." And you can see that Madri is just silent, looking at you, looking at Zelena. And Zelena looks back at Madri and just gives her the most subtle of shit-eating grins, knowing that she undermined one of her other aspects. And then, as they all bicker, the black aspect just makes a single cough, and the others are silent. And then Zelena pauses and says, "My apologies, Kara. My apologies. We all know what we're here for. So let's begin." And at that, Zelena begins to hum, and her hands begin to move in a very flowing action. And soon Madri joins in with softer vocals, her hands also moving in the same kind of flowing manner as Zelena. Kravenna and Billy begin to harmonize while performing their incantations, and soon Kara joins in, and you understand the power of the Queen Mother's song. A well of emotion springs up inside of you, and you begin to feel the warmth of an embrace through the power of their combined voice, of the voice that is the one that is many. And you can see the marrings on your arms and your chest and your legs begin to glow brighter and brighter, spilling forth tiny embers of bright yellow from your long closed wounds. The flame that is seeming to build inside you is being coaxed out by this song. And as the five forms begin to sing and begin to complete this incantation, you see a aura appear around Zelena, of this greenish aura that then turns into a flame. And as she is moving with her flowing hand motions, that flame turns into a orb in front of her, just this burning, vibrant green orb. Then Madri begins to do the same, where she is glowing with this vibrant blue, and soon the flame is in front of her. Kravenna and Billy are the same, and soon Kara as well lends the flame of their essence to this as well. And you can see that theirs is that same kind of deep purple color that you have as your layered of scales. And as they sing, the motes of flame begin to twirl around you until one finds a point where it almost looks like it gets caught on some sort of like non-present current of air, and it begins to loop up, and then the others also begin to loop, and then the five of them are just rotating in front of you, and they begin to shrink closer until eventually they come forward towards you, and you can feel those flames entering in through the burning scars that you have along your body. And as these flames enter into you, you feel your tie to the elemental plane within your heart, and you watch as your scales begin to lift off of your body, and it's painless. And beneath the scales, you can see a figure of light, that same burning yellow that appears at the end of your crossbow whenever you use your blood hunting magic. Your entire form is made of this same light, and you see that there is a mote inside you that is this deep magenta color, the color that was Dendar's crystals. And with a gentle plucking sensation, that intrusive flame is removed from you, as these 5 points of light coming from each of the different aspects of Tiamat encompass your form. And as that mote is taken from you, you see something that you never thought you would see outside of your dreams. And you see that mote expand rapidly and turn into a giant crystal with Tarlain encapsulated inside of this gem. And you stand apart from him. The chorus that is Tiamat raises their voices higher as their flames wreath the form of the obsidian tyrant now, no longer having wreathed upon you, although your form is still of this bright yellow phosphorescent light. And with a triumphant creaking, you see the gem succumb to the magical pressure that is being generated before you. There's almost a thunderous cracking noise as the gem shatters before you, and Tarlain is held aloft by the Queen's magic. you've never seen a dragon look sickly before, but upon seeing the form of your patron, you have a good idea as to what that would look like. And the light surrounding you fades. And as it does, you see that your scales are fresh. And the scars that were once covered, where your personage are no longer deeply engraved for those scales, for those markings, but instead you see glowing remnants of the words that were once etched onto your form, then just sink into your arms, into your chest, into your back. Or I guess you don't see the ones going into your back, but you know that it's there. And as your draconic heart returns to its rightly state, you see these glowing messages fade, and on your back you still feel the lingering sensation of Tiamat's blessing, high-centered and ever-present in the form of her signal. And that is when you hear a wheezing voice.
My queen.
And it is the voice of Tarlayan. And you see Kara approach, and she kneels down, and she places her arms against the skull-like visage of Tarlayan's form as she gently pets his nose. I know, my love. Now rest and be well. And she gives his nose a very quick kiss, and with a deep sigh, Tarlayan's form seems to relax as his body is wreathed in violet flames and is swallowed in them. And Kara turns towards you, and as she does, as she turns, you notice that all of the other aspects are nowhere to be seen. It is just you alone with the black aspect. And your queen stands before you. And with her singular eye, she looks into you. And before you can even begin to formulate words, you feel arms around you and a head pressed up against your chest. And you hear from this form, "Thank you, Arjan. He is home now."
Thank you. Thank you, my queen.
And you, as you say this, you hear a clamoring commotion from a long hallway that extends farther back that you know you came from. And you hear, "Where is he? Where is the whelp?" And the sound of crashing and breaking stone seems to follow it. And Kara squints towards the door.
Is that Agravain?
And she inhales and exhales. She's very just reserved about this whole thing. And the door bursts open, and you can see a sleeker form of a black dragon as old and powerful as Tarlayan in his prime appear in the rubble. "Reveal yourself to me, coward! The queen's love belongs to me now! You should have stayed in your..." And the room gets noticeably darker as Kara seems to draw all of the light to herself. And the world-spanning wings that you saw in her performance fill the rafters of this chamber almost instantly. Her hair falls out of the buns, and you can see that the eye patch that she was wearing falls to the floor as well, revealing a point of burning yellow that seems to be unhideable in her more humanoid form. And she says, "You will not speak to my guest of honor in this way, Agravain. Or have you forgotten who is your queen?" "My lady, I simply what, Agravain? Lost your place? Or do I have to remind you of your station? You are my consort, but that does not make you my king." And Agravain turns a hateful stare towards you, Arjan, that is only heightened by his abrupt silence. And Kara straightens her dress that she is wearing and says, "Now leave us so that you may find yourself again, lest you find yourself without station." And Agravain looks as though he's about to protest, but instead snarls at you one last time, Arjan, before retreating through the doors. And at that, Kara turns to look towards you. My apologies. Zelena made mention that you've struck a bargain with us, and for that I am grateful. Go, and know that you carry my blessing with you always. And at that, she does a very nice courtly bow towards you, and you feel the violet flames of Tiamat's black aspect wreath around you.
Cool.
Cori and Caelum.
I just don't understand. Sorry.
Yeah, make a perception check.
I want to say 16.
Natural 1.
16.
The two of you don't end up hearing Gwen at all. She is just going about the wrong side of town looking for the lot of you.
Oh my god, is that a river of lava?
I think we saw this on the way in, right?
I just now noticed it.
Yeah, look, there's little beetles down there that I don't know what they're doing.
Ooh, she's just leaning way too far over.
I grab the back of her, like, cuirass, just like, no, please don't. I'm not strong enough for this.
And Gwen, you are searching for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a half hour.
Jeez, this place is fucking huge.
And as you are trying to figure out where to go and what to do, you hear a voice that you haven't heard in what feels like months at this point. Gwen, is that you? And you turn around and you see a member of the adventuring party off constantly standing there, and it is Farron.
Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
It's a long time no see. Where are your friends?
I don't fucking know. I'm trying to find. One of them disappeared in a puff of light, and the other ones are off. I don't know. Fucking. I don't know.
Wait, the dragon and the elf maiden are.
No.
Oh, you mean Caelum?
I don't know what they're doing. That was an exaggeration. But they didn't want to go to the House of Lady Favors with me, so I don't know what they're doing.
Well, you need friends to go?
Well, no, but I wanted to have like a whole
watching you or
bath
something?
episode. No, well, no, they're not into that.
And he puts his hands up and just says, whatever floats your boat. I'm sure Mugwort would be very happy to see you once again.
Congratulations on your thing.
Oh, on the...
Yeah.
We didn't win. It's all right.
That's all right.
We found somebody who was able to beat off constantly, and it turns out it was those hobgoblin fellas.
Hey, can you help me find Caelum?
Oh,
Do you have like a tracker on him or
what?
something?
No. Don't be
I mean,
weird.
like, can you do a magic thing?
And he like wiggles his fingers and says, magic. Nope, can't find him. Let's go.
Oh.
And,
Where?
and he just shrugs. I don't know. He likes books or something.
This is true. You know, you're better at this than I am. I was just yelling on the street. Yeah, books. Where do you find books?
And he says, I think things that make you say wow has a lot of books.
Okay.
But then he's not that bad.
Yeah, if you don't have to work for him.
Oh, you... Oh. And Farron just seems to make idle conversation with you about this whole thing as eventually the two of you will find Cori and Caelum staring over, at this point you guys would be staring over the Blackened Span, the westernmost bridge, or easternmost bridge.
Gwen is gonna run, like slowly walk up behind Caelum and then do that thing where you like grab him, but like lean forward with him and then pull him back. so they feel like they're gonna fall, but you have him the whole time. But with his legs.
Caelum, you almost there is a brief moment. Gwen, make a stealth check. Caelum, make a perception check.
This is her moment.
It's on
Let's
par.
see it. This
It's
is
on
her
par.
moment.
That's a 5.
Oh, okay. 17.
Caelum,
Dodge.
you hear Gwen giggling.
Hey, watch this. This is gonna be hilarious.
You hear Gwen giggling to herself as you turn around, and you see her approaching you with the hands up like she's gonna do some pushies.
I'm going to use my Blessing of the Raven Queen to teleport behind her.
Okay.
Ah!
And
As she pushes, and then I'll use thaumaturgy to lower my voice down by a couple of decibels, going, ah.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I just killed Caelum! No!
And Caelum, you hear a laughing, a jovial laugh as 2 arms wrap around your midsection and pick you up, as Farron makes himself known to you.
Oh, he will struggle turn around to hug the man.
And the 2 of them share an embrace.
What have I done? I just saved his goddamn life and now I've ruined it for a fucking joke.
Yes, Gwen, I'm going to be dead
Ah!
forever.
Caelum!
I
You son of a gun.
hope that joke was worth it. I can't do that again until a long rest.
Guys, wait, guys, I'm shit. Arshan is gone.
What?
He disappeared in a puff of well, it was more like a bright green light. There was like this lady with green hair and they were like talking. And then I went in the room and it smelled like farts.
Gross. I'm also very concerned. What?
Yeah. She like had green hair and a green outfit on. It was very monochromatic and it was a little weird.
Caelum puts a finger to his lips and he goes, Arjan, are you okay? Where are you? 25 words. And he casts Sending.
Arjan, by this time, you have been returned back to your room, and you see that it has been, like, looted through. This doesn't seem safe. Your window's open. That wasn't how that was before.
My God, I've been robbed.
Make an insight check.
15.
This seems like something Gwen has done. You've been with Gwen enough times. You know the pattern of her riflings. All of the things that Gwen would rifle through have been rifled through.
What did Caelum ask?
Arjan, where are you? Are you okay? 25 words.
Yeah, I'm in my room. I'm okay.
He's in his room and he's okay.
No, he definitely wasn't. I just happened to be looking through his window and they were speaking in a weird language and then he disappeared.
Gwen,
For sure.
Gwen, you should know to respect people's privacies if they're going to engage in that sort of thing. Like, are you into that?
Regardless of if I'm into it or not, I heard hushed voices. I know Arjan well enough to know that he wasn't doing that.
Well, he says he's okay.
Did he sound like he was under duress? Can it be intercepted? We don't know.
Actually, Sending is just between caster and target.
Thank you.
Prescott uses it all the time. Mostly to tell us that he hates us, but man.
I remember that.
So he's okay, and I just wandered the streets for hours by myself for nothing.
You are learning the lay of the land, and that's a valuable lesson.
Caelum
You
takes
say
a
that
knee,
like I was paying attention.
puts a hand on Gwen's shoulder. I appreciate the effort, Gwen.
Yeah.
So, I've got something to do over at, like, the Forge real quick. And then Temple of Soon, Bath. Do you guys want to join? To Farron.
Farron shrugs and says, "Sure."
Oh, now we're gonna go get a bath. That's fine. That's fine. Gwen like
was the-
turns and starts walking.
That was the plan after we're finished doing our shopping. You just couldn't wait.
Okay.
Just continues to tromp.
All right. So, Caelum, you are, as the rest of you are going to either to go meet up with Arjan to go to the bath. Caelum, you are doing a quick run to the forge.
A Forge.
A
yeah.
forge. Okay. Because
I'll go with
Real
him.
quick.
Sure.
Before Caelum leaves, and I also have an out of character question. Caelum did tell us about Farron's evil girlfriend, right?
Speculated
think he
evil
did.
girlfriend.
Oh.
Speculated evil
Quote
girlfriend.
unquote.
Is that GB's character?
No,
He did tell us about that, right?
I believe so, yes.
I did. Yes.
Okay, so before he leaves, Cori will grab Caelum and say, and basically ask him about it. Like, is this something that we're worried about?
It's something I'm worried about. Yes.
I mean, we haven't seen her yet, but you know, you go ahead and do what you need to do at the forge, and I'll do some recon with off constantly.
Okay. You also wanted plate, correct?
Oh, I mean, yes, but it's probably something I should discuss with everyone, considering I'd have to dip into party funds.
Okay. I mean, I could always float you, but that's fine.
We'll see.
Be careful.
I will. You too.
I mean, what could happen alone on the streets of a foreign city that I've never been in? He starts walking away.
Gwen is directly behind him.
Yeah, Gwen said that she was going with you. So yeah, you are making your way to a forge. Make an investigation check.
16 and 7 is 18. And 2 is 18. Sorry.
Okay, so you find that there is the main forge at the Temple of the Inspired Hands, and then there are also separate salesmen for weapons and armor. There is a weaponsmith, and there is also an armor smith. And the armor that you end up meeting runs the shop that is titled The Best Offense, and it is inscribed on what looks to be a large tower shield. And as it's
I wanted to go to
marquee-
a weaponsmith.
Okay, a weaponsmith?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be armorsmith for armor, obviously. And then the weaponsmith, you end up finding a shop called Hilt's Home. And the marquee is of a sword that has been punctured through a humanoid shape.
Yes.
And when you go inside, the shop owner is a drow man.
Hello.
Oh, is he one of you?
No.
Oh.
And they introduce themselves as Talaven Karathmar. And they are one of the best swordsmiths in this city. And they ask you, so what is it you are looking for in terms of weaponry? Are you looking for short and stabby, long and stabby, big and slashy? You don't seem like you have the arm strength for the big and slashy. But
No, I'm more of a
maybe.
pull-on person, but like I was hoping to commission something from you.
I am open to commissions. I have a little bit of a log at the moment, but I'm working through it. What is it you are looking to have done?
He's going to pull out the hilt of Moonlight's Edge.
It's beautiful.
The blade was broken a while ago in a exchange between hags, and I was hoping if there was some way to repair it or maybe commission a new piece in its likeness.
And looks at it. As far as repair goes, this is a singular piece of metal. When you repair a sword, you take it apart and put new blade inside and restructure it. But with this,
You couldn't.
I can
Put
make
something
something
on
to look like it.
If you could you adjust it for someone with only one arm, weight-wise?
Of course. And they nod. It seems like you have asked them a question that almost offends their sensibilities as a craftsman.
It was more like a specification.
Yeah, but the fact that you asked if they could is the one that's like, oh, how dare you? Of course I can. And so they agree to do this thing for you. They let you know that to create a replica sword is going to be around 250 gold.
Okay. Half now, half later.
They nod in agreement.
Cool. I will pay him.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Can you make this better? And she puts up a hand axe on the thing.
And he raises an eyebrow towards you.
You see, I have this guy. And she brings out the Sun Forger. And he's pretty badass. And I got this guy. She brings out the Run Axe. And he's super badass. But I have these dinky little axe things. And I want to be able to... She pops the Run Axe on her back. I want to be able to, like...
Oh, do you do enchantments? Or
I can sharpen it.
Hmm.
It'll be fine.
Sweet.
And they nod towards you. And we'll collect 125 gold pieces from you, Caelum. And Gwen, they tell you that they can improve this axe for 500 gold.
Can I make, well, I feel Gwen would think, yeah, cool. As a player, I don't know what he's doing to this.
You, from your understanding of it, and this will be, like, mechanically speaking,
Yeah.
they're going to be turning it into a +1 hand axe.
All right, cool. Yes, that is what I want. Thank you.
could I fork over some extra money to turn that sword +1 as well?
Yeah, it'll be an additional 500 gold.
Cool. So I'll tink off 250. Sweet.
Okay.
Thanks, dude. And if you could, like, cut into the wood a little bit on the axe and just make it say something cool. I don't care what it is.
And he just smiles and nods.
You can put it in, like, a different language in it, as long as you don't, like, dick me over and it says something like, suck a dick. Actually, make it say suck a dick.
He looks at you and just, this I can do.
Solid.
Just sort of shrugs. Doesn't really know.
Oh, maybe not in the wood. Maybe like along the blade. So when you chop somebody's head off. No.
Suck a dick. Yeah, I'll leave it up to your artistic talents.
And he thanks you for your patronage. Seeming to
All right,
have been
Caelum,
hit with a mote of inspiration. And then, Caelum, you were also going to be going to the armor smith to pick up the plate mail. Is that correct? Or were you going to just see about the plate mail?
No. Corey's gonna probably do that
Okay,
on his own time.
sounds good. So, it is during this time that Mugwort, Prescott, and Farron all end up arriving at the bathhouse with the lot of you. They have no qualms about a group bath with everybody, if no one else does. And
Did you guys go get Arjan?
I thought they did.
The way that I am assuming it, just because there are things that we need to cover, is that Arjan has been met. You guys reconvene. You were very close to the journey's end anyways. Could grab him.
Whenever y'all go to pick up Arjan, he has, and these are the things I picked up from the merch booth. He is just like sitting on the bed with some like sunglasses on, but they're in like the shape of stars with like 5 different colors around them. And he's just sipping out of this comically large souvenir plastic cup and it's slurping very loudly. Hey. Where are we going?
Yes. Are you ready to hit the bathhouse, Arjan?
Bathhouse. Okay. Yeah.
And Arjan, you're having a little bit difficult of a time, like, hearing your friends because the din of the concert is still ringing in your ears. But
That shit's tinnitus.
yes. Arjan for sure has tinnitus.
How much do I need to mark off for that?
You will have spent a total of 200 gold pieces.
All right.
That makes sense.
It's concert prices.
It's concert prices.
Yep.
They know that they can inflate it, especially for the act that is Crown.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys go to the bathhouse, and while you are there, what is the interaction like with Off Constantly? It seems like Prescott, like, even though could be fully nude in this bathhouse, is wearing like the onesie swimsuit
Aww.
to go in. And it's like the blue and white striped one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What a
Oh, it's
dork.
beautiful.
Yeah, Gwen's fully naked. She's showing off her new tattoo.
Mugwort is like clapping. He thinks this is super cool.
Is there anything new happening with Arjan's?
Arjan, you and the rest of you notice this as well. All of the scars and markings that Arjan had before seem to have almost disappeared. The only one that still remains is the symbol of Tiamat upon his back. But before it, where it had looked like it had been made with unsteady hands, the line work is smooth. And it seems like the entirety has been almost updated rather than being completely washed away to be this much more dignified looking symbol upon his back. If anything, he looks cleaner than any of you have ever seen Arjan, and Arjan even before bathing. It's like you molted. Like you have all new scales. They feel so nice.
Can't hear you, Wings.
Sorry. Arjan, did you exfoliate?
We can't hear,
Can't hear you.
now.
No, not really.
You're positively glowing.
Oh, okay.
Dude, what the fuck happened?
What do you mean?
You, like, exploded into a ball of light. With a green-haired lady?
Oh.
And Farron gives you like the wiggly eyebrows of just
Excuse us, this is a private conversation.
And then he says,
It's a-
I'll see myself out.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'd rather not talk about this right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
after a little bit, the group members of Off Constantly seem to have had their fill of the bath and end up leaving a lot of you to have your own time as well.
Hey, Mugwort.
Before they leave, Cori would have asked Farron about Elisharis.
And when you do, he seems a little bit crestfallen. He explains that after they lost the tournament, she became a little bit colder towards the rest of the group, which is understandable. Not everybody is cut out for fights. And she actually parted ways with them several weeks ago. And he's still seen her around the city, but he knows that, give her some time.
Interesting. All right. And she commiserates a little bit, tells him that things have been hard doing things long distance with Oliviette, blah, blah, blah.
There is that moment of commiseration. And then Gwen.
She'll just tell Mugwort where she's staying.
And Mugwort will just look at you and he just has like this quivering smile on his face because he's so used to you just like straight up scorning him every time he made any advances. And then you see him like collect himself, just of course, and just like scoodles on off. Like he doesn't know how to contain his happiness.
That's how you do it. Make him think you hate you, and then you give him a little bit of hope.
Oh God.
Don't do that, guys. That's really mean.
Yes,
Oh,
it
God.
is. It's very mean.
So
When they
anything else in the
leave,
bathhouse?
yeah, because the entire time Caelum had been like wearing a robe. Once they leave, he like takes it off and just gets in the water and just sinks down like, cool. How are the feathers doing?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
They're crumpled, to say the least. Like you haven't like given them a chance to breathe outside of your armor in quite some time, but getting hot water and warmth on them, it eases them a little bit.
Guys, I might need to invest in like mage armor or no armor at all.
Or you could like preen.
He tries to like move his mouth over a shoulder.
I got it. She's gonna go behind him and start like picking out the feathers and making them all lay the right way.
Okay.
I thought she was going at it with her mouth.
Ow!
Also had a
I
brief
got
moment.
it. Ha! Oh no.
Cool.
Okay. So, is there anything else that you guys would like to cover at the bathhouse or that following evening?
Would want to talk to Arjan about his
Yeah.
thing, but
Group meeting.
if
Meta, I don't want to spend time on it
Sure,
while
yeah.
we're waiting on a guest.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly.
Yes. So, you guys can talk about it at a later point. So, it is at after you guys have restful night's sleep, Gwen, you and Mugwort have a reunion of sorts. Let your imagination run wild as to what that entails, and everyone else will hear it in character while it's going on. But thankfully, rooms are stone. They mute quite a bit, but still not enough for a tribal chieftain. The following morning, as the lot of you are having breakfast, a figure ends up coming into the Journey's End Tavern and begins looking around, and eventually their head kind of turns towards your group, and this figure begins to walk directly towards your group. Greybeard, would you like to describe what your character looks like?
Sure. He's about 6 footish. He was he's a bit slumped. He's older. He's got like a mop of white hair and a kind of a bigger white beard. His clothes at one point were fine, but they look a little tattered now. He's wearing a breastplate that you can tell has been repatched multiple times. He's got a couple of hand crossbows, but with no bow on them on his sides, and then he's got some massive weird crossbow on his back that again doesn't have a bow on it. It's got some kind of pipe or something sticking out of it, and his clothes are mostly kind of a crimson and then some like charcoal colors to it. He's got the bandana thing going on. He's probably got like a pipe that he was like puffing away at as he was looking around, and then as he sees you, kind of like and he there's a little pep in his step as he comes over, and he'll kind of lean into your guys' table and be like, aha, you look like the kind of folks who appreciate an opportunity.
Been given lots of opportunities before, and we kind of hated them.
What
Well,
sort of
this is
opportunity?
the golden kind of opportunity.
What are you selling, dude?
I'm not selling anything but pleasure to meet you. And he reaches over to shake Gwen's hand specifically
Okay.
because you said
Yeah.
something and seemed more warrior than the rest of them. So
Yeah.
he puts out a paw and he like, oh yeah, good grip. I'm Ruddick Verminbane. I'm a monster hunter and professional problem solver. And well, this time I've bitten off more than I can chew.
Does he have an actor feat?
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
You can call me Cori. Verminbane. Was that name given or earned?
Earned. Long ago, I made a living doing nothing but killing monsters. Getting a little old.
So, Caelum, you rolled a 6?
15.
A
sorry.
15, and Gwen, you got a 4. Gwen, something about this guy just doesn't set right with you. Caelum, you see, and Arjan, what'd you get?
This is a new day, right?
It is.
Natural 20 on the blood die.
Whoo! That's pretty good.
We'll save that boy for later. Insight check, not good. 9.
Arjan, something feels weird about this guy. Caelum, you see a man who's down on his luck.
I keep getting distracted by all the crossbows.
They're so shiny. How did they
shiny.
work?
I got a 16 on my insight.
Okay, Cori, you and Caelum both see a what could be described as a monster hunter in former glory. It looks like, again, this man is just kind of down on his luck.
Oh.
And yeah, you would tell that he doesn't have the actor's feet, but he's trying. He is trying to sell you this adventure kind of thing.
Well,
why don't you tell us some details? What exactly have you bitten off that you need help chewing?
And
I'll
then he
call over a waitress and get some food for him.
pulls up a chair at that point, and he leans in kind of conspiratorially, and he's like, well, I'm a member of the Ceaseless Quarry Guild, and there's a fiendish beastie that's gonna infect the waters here of our fair city, and well, then it's my job to take care of this thing.
But you need some help.
I need some help.
All right.
My last group of, and he starts to say friends, and he gets a little choked up, and he says party, co-workers. They were wiped out by this thing.
What is it?
A wastrelith. And
Sounds made up. That made up.
Do I know what this thing is?
Make an Arcana or a History check.
He said fiendish, so I'm assuming blood hunter bullshit.
Oh, for sure.
Sorry, what race is he?
Human.
Oh, it's human.
Presumably.
12.
Dirty 20 on an
until my
Arcana check.
wings shoot up and I glow.
So Arjan, the name sounds familiar-ish, and like it kind of the name lines up with what Ruddick is saying. You've heard wastreliths be tied into like issues around lake towns and other areas that rely on fresh sources of water. But as far as like what it is, you just can't picture what it is mentally. Caelum, you have heard about this creature before in terms of books that you've read. You know that it is a aquatic beast that has the capabilities to actually corrupt and alter the water around it, in its surroundings, to make it more vile and abyssal.
Oh. Are there any bodies of water around this town? It's mostly lava, isn't it?
No, we got to drink something. There's underground lakes, and the forge uses a pure spring that they don't want it corrupted and foul.
Right. Are we gonna have to fight this thing underwater? I don't think we're prepared for that.
No,
Bad times with water.
Bad times with water.
I think we'll be able to catch it above the surface. I hope. Like I said, we fought it before.
How did it kill your friends?
Gwen.
Well, I mean, like, it was like fire. You like.
Yeah. Well, it's a beast. It has massive hooks and fangs, and nothing seemed to do any real damage to it. I mean, Vebus was throwing fire at it left, right, and sideways, and it just, I mean, it did damage, but it kind of shrugged it off. He tried cold. He tried lightning. Meanwhile, Dorgan, hacked at it, and it wasn't until he drew his magic dagger that he really started driving hits home. But at that point, it was too late. I am kind of long ranged, and he points back at the thing on his back, and he says, he gets a little choked up again. He's like, in the end, I had to leave him behind.
Did this thing bleed?
You saw it bleed.
It bled. And then you can see he's got kind of like a newer scar across his face. And he's like, yeah, it took a lot to get away.
Mr. Verminbane, how big is this creature exactly?
It's huge. I mean, its claws are as long as you are tall.
Great. Some more toothpicks to hurt people with. Got it. And we're gonna try and not kill it in the water unless it contaminates the source, right? Lead it away.
That'd be fantastic.
Great.
We kill it and we'll deal with the repercussions after.
Well, you listed off a lot of magic in my repertoire, but I could always try crushing it.
Well,
Magical weapons were useful, though.
yes, magic seemed to hurt it. Once, like I said, Dorgan went to, put down his hammer and grabbed up his dagger. That pierced its hide. What other attacks did it have that I remember?
You saw that it had the capability of creating commanding the water near it to be a jet stream that you saw actually deal quite a significant amount of damage to your friends.
That seemed to have control over the water itself. And then, its water was foul and poisonous.
Great.
Are we gonna run into problems? Like, does it come all the way out of the water?
Yeah.
Does it come with any friends?
Last time, and I'd scouted it out a couple times before, and I'd never seen any minions or servants. But that doesn't mean it hasn't gotten any in the time since. And here, mind my manners. And he looks around again. Oh, by the way, he has a passive perception of 22.
Holy butts.
Oh, so he took the alert feat. Got it.
And observant.
Motherfucker.
He has them both. And he's like, looks around. He's like, ceaseless queries, paying 2,000 gold for this job.
Group huddle.
One moment.
Verminbane takes the food you gave him and he leans way back in the chair.
Oh, wait, hold on. You have a passive perception of 22, so it doesn't even matter.
Caelum, you're hurting Arjan.
Sorry.
But yeah, as you guys huddle up, he'll lean way back in the thing, and once you're not looking at him, he just starts like snarfing the foods,
God.
like scraping it in. Like,
This looks like the first good meal that he has had in a while.
What do you guys think?
As long as it's not in the water.
Drawing it out might be difficult. So
Why?
if it doesn't want to get out of the freaking water, it's not going to get out of the freaking water.
Then we wait until it does.
Caelum, do you think you and I could possibly purify the water after we do what we need to?
It would take me a while to prepare the spell, but I'd be able to do it. That's a lot of water, though, if it's an underground spring. We'll be there for a very long time.
I'm sure there are clerics here that can do that sort of thing.
Can't
What
hear
Huh?
you,
about
Greg.
wings?
I can actually help with that as well.
Huh.
So, I mean, 3 of us working together, we
I
might be able to do
We'll
it.
need some time to prepare before we head out.
We need magic weapons.
I can make my weapon magical, but like I said, I'm going to need some time.
I think I can make mine.
It's a temporary arrangement, but it will do.
My weapons are magical, right?
The runt axe and
And Sunforger.
Sunforger are
Yeah.
magical.
I know that. Hi.
Yes.
LB knows this. Gwen doesn't.
Yes, your weapons are magical. I mean, if I decide to blow all my mana in one go, I could
No.
probably get through it.
No. No.
oh,
Nothing
and
bad's gonna happen. Nothing bad ever happens when I do
and-
that.
And then he seems to have heard everything you've said because he just butts in and he goes, "Oh, and I've got this little dandy." And he pulls out this. It looks like metal bands in a ball, all wrapped up. And he puts it on the table and he slides it towards Caelum because he figures Caelum will know what it is.
Arcana check.
Make an Arcana check.
Does Caelum know what it is?
Oh, Caelum definitely knows what this is with a 23.
With a 23, you have heard of magic items similar to this. You would know that this is the Iron Bands of Binding.
Ooh.
Better let Gwen keep this afterwards. All right.
Silk is for friends.
Gross.
Oh, silk is for friends. Hemp is for enemies.
So,
Are we
Irons
doing
for a
it?
good time. Oh,
All right. What's the split like?
200 gold apiece.
Your math is kind of off there, friend.
Hmm?
It's 2,000, isn't it? The
Yeah.
All right, you know what? We'll
Everyone
work
gets
it out.
200 gold, Caelum. His cut is 200 gold.
I'm gonna go along with this, but I'm not gonna like it.
all right. So, as the lot of you finish up your breakfasts and make your preparations to head out, that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. I know that we took it at a little bit of a later point, so I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and join us. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to bit.ly/adventuremerch. Wait, no. bit.ly/merch indoor. Don't go to the other one. The other one's a bad place. And pick yourself up something nice. We shall return. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. And we're back.
So the Marine is wearing the French maid costume, and I get out the riding crop.
Well then, greetings, everyone. Oh, Ruddick, you and your stories. So, you guys have prepared for this journey into the mines of Surtshellier at Ruddick's lead, and with your preparations being complete, Caelum, I know that you had wanted to alter a first level spell, so that'll take the rest of breakfast, essentially.
I can't prep at the same time, right?
No, you prep at the beginning of the day. So,
Gwen will make it clear to him that if he fucks us over, she's gonna kill him.
Right. He looks at you like, I wouldn't expect you to do anything less.
Just so you know. Not one to be fucked with.
All right.
We are unfuckwittable.
Actually, I thought we were the Four Keeps.
We are also that.
all right. So, Reddick, you begin to lead your newfound party members into the endless maze that is the mines of Surtshellier. And the lot of you go through the city streets and pass by the Pit of Champions. You go by the you can see the Lord Hall off in the distance that's kind of been tucked into the actual cliff face of the side wall of Surtshellier that looks down upon the people. And eventually you make your way into the mines. And Reddick, you know that it's going to take several hours to actually get to where you need to go. Is there any conversations that you guys would like to have during your time heading down there? Is there anything you would like to speak to Reddick about? Reddick, is there anything you would like to speak about?
The
That is
right.
some very interesting hardware that you have.
yeah, and he pulls out the twin pepper boxes, and he flips these little things at the bottom, these little tubes, and they light up, and they have basically little sun rods on the bottom of them. So he's using them like flashlights as we're going along. And he says, "Yeah, built them myself."
True.
So you're like magic?
More like alchemistry, except this one, this here. Not to brag, but I won the tournament a lot of years back, and she's enchanted. She fires thunder. So that's my baby.
What was the quote that I read? Eat thunder, crap lightning?
Something like that.
I'm gonna divine sense him
Okay. He
just on a precedent.
Yeah. Nothing comes out. He seems human.
All right.
I'm gonna hand. Do I still have the iron bands of binding, or did Reddick?
Reddick would have.
I would have
Okay.
suggested that they come back to me,
Because I'm about to say I don't have the dexterity for this.
and he does.
The Reddick Vemenbane, is that your true name?
No.
Oh, hey, Cori.
What?
Anybody who knows anything? No. Or wait, are you? Never mind. Nothing.
And he the whole time when you started that, he was like, "Yeah, what she's about to say," and then it just kind of faded, like maybe not.
Oh, look, is this stone? Just like touch the wall.
Is this metamorphic rock? Wow.
What?
It's
No,
it's like she just got cock blocked.
no, of course not. But in our business, it's much better to have that flashy, something that says what you do and how you do it. Like dwarves are always taking those names, Clan Banghammer and
Yes,
Thunder
of course.
Thunder Anvil and that kind of thing.
Yes, but very little can be done with that.
Mm-hmm.
Cori,
What?
Never give your real name to a face. Is that what you're getting at? And he kind of punches Cori in the pauldron.
Yes, of course. Of course.
So, and when the last time we fought, it was there What was the terrain we were at, or
You know
where
that the terrain is by an underground lake. That was the primary resource for clean water that was used by the Temple of Inspired Hands, and is also one of the main resources for fresh water, or relatively fresh water within Surtshellier. They can either import it from the mountains outside, possibly try and just melt the snow that's around it, but it's easier for the mine in terms of expansion to just keep it all coming from the same location, because it's just more simple that way in terms of paperwork. So you know that it is just an underground lake, and where you had fought your party members was on the embankment of this.
Was that a Freudian slip? Because you just said where you fought your party members.
No, sorry. Where you and your party members had fought this creature.
I don't believe that for a
Yeah, and
goddamn
Olivia's a pirate, so I hope we're all happy here.
Yay.
He
Exactly.
omitted a preposition, fought with his party members.
Yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
it's cool.
Sure, Jan.
he's thinking, that run tax.
Ah, yes, me, the dexterity wielder, could
I
sure
know.
use a giant axe.
Exactly. Chuck this rapier and dagger crap.
So, when did you guys fight this duder?
When was it?
You
Sorry
would've
to
fought
keep
this
having to
creature-
ask you, but
That's all right. You would have fought this creature roughly about 2 weeks ago at this point.
all right. About 2 weeks back.
Yeah. Well, let's kill it.
That's the spirit.
Okay. And after a little bit more of walking Ruddick, you know that you are nearing its current location. And a lot of you can see that the water that seems to be dripping from the rooftops that just attributes to the overall moisture of this area it's getting foul smelling. It seems like it's a little bit more viscous, almost like it's been mixed with an oil rather than just being this pure water. And you are definitely confident that this is the resting area of this creature.
All right, so as we get close, he looks at each individual and he looks at Caelum and he's like, spells, right? We don't have to get up front.
For some of them, yeah.
All right.
Just the heavy hitting one.
Crossbow. He looks over at Arjan.
Yeah, Arjan's gonna cut his hand and drip blood on the edge of the crossbow, and it's gonna crackle with electricity.
Sweet. Blood hunter. Got it.
Couldn't.
You're hacking,
All right.
hack and slash to Gwen.
Yeah.
And then Paladin. He points at Cori.
Draws her sword and closes her eyes, and it begins to glow with a soft white moonlight light.
Good trick.
Would you
All right.
guys follow one plan that I have?
That's better than, hey, get him.
If you follow one of mine,
What do you have?
Oh shit! I have to remember 2 things. All right, go ahead.
Ruddick will laugh at that.
Caelum, after I shoot it, follow up with your Volti make it take good thing.
Well,
I
I'm
I can get rid of its resistance to lightning.
cool. I was thinking about something else. It'll be a big hit. You guys just need to follow up really quickly.
Are you gonna hurt yourself again, Caelum?
Possibly.
Can you
It'll
not?
probably-
Caelum!
It'll be fine.
Ow, I don't want you to hurt yourself. We just got you back.
Have you got your diamond?
He raises his hand. It's on his ring finger.
You need to do, but be careful.
Thanks for mine, Cori. And Gwen lifts up her shirt and she's got a belly button ring.
Wait, everybody got diamonds?
Didn't you know Cori proposed to everybody?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so sweet.
We're
I
a
had
big
to-
ass family now.
I had to.
Takes all kinds in this world, I
It's
guess.
all going to be worth it, I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you need to be reimbursed for it?
What?
We can talk later.
Caelum is rolling up his sleeves and like just breathing in and out.
Yeah. Ruddick will crack his neck and like check, pop the barrels and spin them.
I
Like
just
a
want to
Mac.
make this clear. Nobody hit it before I do.
All
Right.
right. You want me to like
We should
pull it out?
Hide for now, or
I-
we could pull it out.
You want? I'm the fastest, so why don't I take it?
Okay.
I'm gonna go
okay.
smack the water.
Caelum, what exactly are you trying to do?
I'm gonna see if I can one punch this sumbitch.
All right.
All right. So will I know you one punch, something will happen, and then I start shooting.
Yeah. Something will happen.
Works for me.
Swear to Christ, if I see another unicorn in here.
So, Gwen, you are going up and slapping the water, or are you waiting for Caelum?
I need it out. So
Yeah, I'm gonna draw the thing out. So I'm gonna go up to the water and I'm gonna go, and then run.
Okay. And as you start making these hand slappies onto the water and causing a general ruckus, make a perception check.
Okay. It's a 21.
Okay. With a 21, you see a large darkened form snaking through the water towards you.
I'm gonna book it back to towards the group,
Okay.
and I'm gonna make a show of it. Ah!
And you
A shoe
see-
falls off. You stumble.
And as this creature comes towards the shore, you see as the water kind of falls along the spines upon its back, and then it creeps forward and you see these two large hooked hands. And Ruddick was correct. These do look like they are about the size of Caelum, possibly a little bit shorter, that sink into the dirt, and then it begins to pull itself out of the water and then coiling towards where it saw Gwen go. I'd like for you all to roll initiative.
10.
17, not a 1. So
16.
19.
18 and 8 is
26.
26.
Okay, and then this big old boy got a number. So, Ruddick, you're holding out.
Hold my action, waiting for Caelum's signal.
Okay.
Stops breathing.
Then, Gwen, are you waiting for Caelum's signal as well as you continue to run?
Yes. I'm gonna take like my movement, and then I'm gonna hold my action until Caelum's done. I
Okay,
assume it's gonna keep following me.
sounds good. Next up is Caelum. And you see this creature is now out of the water, making its way towards where Gwen is running.
you see him pull his shield arm back, and his eyes flare with dark energy as I use my action to channel Path of the Grave on it.
Okay,
That's my turn.
sounds good. So, Cori, it is your turn. Caelum's eyes are now like pooled with this dark energy. He seems to be staring down this large, writhing form.
We didn't get a signal, did we?
Nope. Hold.
It's a hold. It's a hold.
He's saying hold, like wait.
Oh, okay. All right. Cori will actually walk up behind Caelum, have her sword at the ready, and she is going to prepare an attack if it comes after him.
Okay.
Ruddick's on one knee, a few feet away from him. Sniper position.
Sounds good. So at that, now that it sees you, it can see you, Caelum, and sees Cori standing behind you, and Gwen has run into the back as well. It opens up this large piscine-like mouth, this very fish-like mouth, and you can see that it just has hundreds of tiny serrated teeth in its gob, and just... And it swivels back towards where it's near the water as a spout shoots out from the lake and hits against you, Caelum. I need you to make a strength save for me.
Say that again, Cori.
What?
Cori gets...
+3.
Yeah.
So 19, 21.
Okay. Sounds good. So you are only going to be taking half of this.
Say that again.
Say that again.
Can I attack it for attacking my friend?
No, it's fur away.
It's 60 feet away.
Fuck, it's got... Oh, damn. Okay. Shit.
So you're going to be taking 12 points of acid damage.
That's not bad. Ow.
And then it is just looking at you as it is standing near the water. And that's it. Arjan.
It's 60 feet away.
It is.
Hex.
Okay. Doesn't need to make a save at all?
Nope.
Okay, cool. It's
And
hexed.
And it's getting disadvantage on, let's say, wisdom checks.
Okay.
So maybe it won't be able to perception us.
Sure. Okay. Next up, Ruddick.
I haven't seen the signal,
No.
so I'll use my bonus action to hit it with Hunter's Prayer.
Hunter's Mark.
No, Hunter's Prayer.
Oh.
I'll get to Hunter's Mark next turn. I'm a monster hunter. So it's just an extra D6 damage.
Nice.
It's a hunter's mark that isn't a spell.
Exactly.
What? Get the fuck out of here. Okay.
No, it's awesome. And then I'll put the Hunter's Mark on top of it.
Okay. Sounds good. So then next up, Gwen. You've seen Caelum rear back with his shield. He looks very confident.
I would like to rage.
Okay.
And I'm going to it's retreating.
It looks like it is back near the water now that it has seen multiple people.
Okay, I'm gonna approach it and use my action to do one of those things that I never do besides attack. What's the one where you dodge? Dodge.
Okay.
That's
Rage
when
and
you
then dodge. This is just the movie Dodgeball. Got it. Next up is Caelum.
He turns to Arjan and says, I'm going to borrow this, referencing the blood die. He's going to walk 30 feet forward and then Blessing of the Raven Queen up to it and cast Nevermore at... Whew, here we go. 6th level.
Okay. Natural 20.
And Caelum, as part of your 6th level wizard feature, you no longer have to roll on an overcharge table.
What?
Yup.
Your boy has a
Hey.
better understanding of things.
How much do you...
What a good feature. I love it.
That's amazing.
That's like all the anxiety is just like, poof. I love it.
So it has vulnerability to this, by the way.
Yes.
So it's taking. Should I double it just for funny numbers?
Sure.
174 points of damage.
And that's before?
No, that's after.
Okay.
Points of force damage.
It takes the damage, and you see its body ripple, and it is still standing.
He turns to the party. That's the signal.
Okay, everybody with their ranged attacks that were set, feel free to unleash the beast.
Bonus action, add the hunter's mark. So,
Okay, held actions,
nice.
you wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to use bonus action. It's just your attack action is held.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought we were in a new round.
No,
No? Okay.
no,
All right.
like it has been the new round, and that's when you cast the prayer.
Perfect.
Or used the prayer. It's not a cast.
All right. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does not hit.
All right.
Pachang.
Do you only get one attack?
With this, yes.
Okay.
Oh, right. Reload one.
Yep.
You got the
Reload one.
crossbow problem.
Yes, yes, I do. When it
Arjan,
hits.
You
it hits
also had
hard.
held actions, correct?
I didn't say that I did.
Okay. Well, you don't need to, because right up is Cori's turn, and then it's yours. After the beast. Cori, what you doing? You've seen Caelum rush up and very confidently just deliver this huge gobsmack of damage onto this creature. And it's telling. That is, you feel like you've hit pretty hard with Holy Smites before, but watching Caelum do this is almost something else.
Cori is already in spring form, but she is a little bit pinker. I have a question though. Is there any plant growth down here?
Not that you can see.
Okay. Cool. Makes things simple. Cori will run in and attack. With her father's sword! 17.
Okay, a 17 does not hit.
Holy fuck! Okay, second verse service first. Alright, that one doesn't hit either. Holy fuck. Yeah. So she just starts trying to plunge her sword into the beast's hide, and it is glancing off of the skin. And I think she'll say something along the lines of, "Oh no, this thing is tough."
Okay.
That's it.
It is now this thing's turn. And Caelum, you have shown yourself to be the biggest damn threat that it has seen and known in a long while. So you see that the water behind it whips up and is going to try and strike out at you again. So I need you to make a strength save.
+3 because Cori's there.
Yes.
15.
So with a 15, the water hits you, and then you see it flowing from the lake itself, and then the flow of water begins to retract. But with it, it brings you actually with it towards the water.
Guys.
Caelum, you are going to be taking 23 points of acid damage.
Minus 10. Kitten.
And
That'll roll
then
well.
it is going to switch its top half around towards you, Caelum, now that you are in the water, and it is going to bring its claws down upon you.
Cool.
For a 27 to hit.
Nah. Yeah.
For 14 points of slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is going to make a second slashing attack for a 19 to hit, or a 21 to hit.
Yep.
Okay.
You've already used your Raven Queen thing.
No, I'm in my Raven Queen thing.
Right, but you can't Misty Step again.
Says you.
You can't do that racially?
I have Dimension Door.
points of slashing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Don't
still
bother
up.
using
And
dimension.
now it is going to bite you.
I'm still up.
And that is another 21 to hit.
Yep.
Oh, man. I love this attack a lot.
I don't.
These dice never get used.
Huh.
So... for 25 points of piercing damage.
I'm still up.
And it is just doing its heckin' best, trying to bite out towards you. And it is partially submerged at this point, being large enough that it could extend its upper half into the water, leaving its butt still kind of revealed to the rest of everybody. That was it for its turn. Arjan.
I'm amplifying a blood curse of the marked. So I will be removing its resistance to lightning damage if it has it.
Okay. And it did.
This will last until my next turn, Caelum.
Uh-huh. I remember the plan.
A 14 will not hit. Sorry, that wasn't a 14. That was a 16.
16
But that's
still
still-
misses.
That's still going to miss. Okay. What about I think this is a 22, 15 plus 7.
Yeah, it's 22. That hits.
Okay, cool. Oh my god, that's max damage.
My boy.
So that's going to be 13 points of piercing damage. Non-magical, I'm pretty sure. 6 points of necrotic. And 6 points of lightning damage, which it is vulnerable. Well, which it is not resistant to.
Okay.
Oh shit, I do get to double that. That's the whole point of Blood Curse of the Marked. Fucking. Okay. 9 points of lightning damage,
Ooh.
which it is not resistant to. And that's my
Okay.
turn.
Sounds good. This creature is looking incredibly injured. It looks
And-
weak.
You still see the residual like lightning crackles against it, so maybe make use of that if you can.
All right. Next up, Ruddick.
So it's dragging Caelum into the water.
It has already gotten Caelum into the water via a watery spout.
All right. So Ruddick was like, he had the chamber open. He was pulling a big old shell out, and he just drops it, and he's like, "Not again, bitch!" And he pulls out the ball, and he's like, whoosh, he's gonna chuck the bands at it.
Okay.
Yeet.
Sounds good.
It's
It
empty.
needs to make a save, correct?
Oops. One
Not
sec.
the first time, I don't think.
Let's see. Ranged attack roll.
Okay.
I thought I had to do that. So yeah. And that is a 19 to hit it.
A 19 does hit.
All right. And then a creature, including the one wait. On a hit, the target is restrained until you take a bonus action to speak the command word again to release it. Doing so, missing the attack causes the bands to contract and become a sphere once more. So if I missed, it would have just turned back into a ball.
Yes.
Okay, and then the creature restrained needs to use an action to make a DC 20 strength check to break the bands. On a success, the item is destroyed and the restrained creature is freed.
Okay. So it's restrained. That was one of your attack actions.
Can't load that, but I did drop it. Because I'm a dual wielder, part of an attack action, I pull pistols. So that hits the ground, and then I'll pull pistols, and I can only shoot one of them. So I'll fire.
At advantage, sir.
So a 24
Totally
on
hits.
one dice, but look for that nat 20 and a 26 on the other dice.
Oh, yeah.
Neither one a nat 20, but I do shoot him. So that's 2d6 plus I don't have another d6. 9 and 6 is 15.
Mm-hmm.
15.
GB.
Yeah.
What happens when Reddick gets his revenge?
Oh, yes. All right. So the bands contract it, and it, Caelum's in the water already, and he drops, it kind of goes to slow motion. He just chucks his rifle, pulls both pistols, and then it gets all focusy and weird. And I look at right in one of its eyes, and, just slow-mo, boom, smoke, projectile straight in through the skull into its brain. And and Ruddick's almost in disbelief. His hand's a little shaky afterwards, like.
So this, Gwen, you hear this thunderous sound coming from Reddick, and you feel like your ears are going to be ringing for a while, and you all kind of do. You just fired a gun inside of a cave system, so it's just echoing. And you watch as this thing gets domed. Its head just explodes at the point of entry, and the back of it also explodes outward, falling into the water as its form then falls down towards where Caelum is. Caelum, you have you see it falling quick enough that you're able to roll out of the way. You're not in the water very deep.
Oh, okay.
It didn't like whip you into the deep end of the pool and tell you to swim. It was like you're at like shin height in the water at this point. But the creature lies defeated amongst the grouping of you.
What the fuck? I didn't even get to hit it.
Ruddick's doing the same thing, like.
Do we pull it out now?
All right, Gwen's
It is
gonna grab
definitely
it by the
bleeding into the
tail.
water.
Gwen's gonna grab it by the tail and just like strength this thing out of the water.
Okay, make a strength check. This is the first time that
Okay.
you've actually had to do one of these when pushing or pulling
Right.
something.
A strength check or an
Let's say
athletics check. Okay. 18.
Okay. Yeah, so with an 18, you are able to steadily drag it out of the water. And as you do, your hands are getting covered in this very viscous fluid. And as you look, it looks like this creature is quickly decomposing in front of you, turning into this just big black mass of oil as it seems to then begin settling down onto the ground.
Yeah, that happens when you shoot and kill fiends.
Some
That's
of them.
gross.
Some of them.
How bad's the water looking?
The water
Wait,
looks...
this was a fiend all along?
It's the first thing I told you about it.
Oh my god, it was the one thing I didn't divine sense, and I...
No one. Absolutely no one. Cori, divine sense. But not when it's a fiend.
That house plant doesn't make sense.
Oh, it's amazing.
Okay.
How bad's the water looking?
Make an insight check.
21.
With a 21, you know that the water is looking pretty nasty. In terms of purifying it, like Caelum said, it is going to take a while to be actually able to purify all of it as just the three of you. But you know, as Reddick was explaining, this is technically part of the mine. The Ebenholt family is going to be paying to get this taken care of. So your job as far as working for the Hunters Guild has been taken care of.
All right.
Caelum staggers over to Cori and goes, "What did I tell you? Worked out in the end."
Oh shit.
Cori catches him and lay on hand.
Caelum, what was that?
20 points.
Yeah, crap, kid. That was amazing.
I thought really hard about killing it, and it happened.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Does he
it's
do
pretty
this?
cool. But you
Alright,
should have seen me. I was gonna do something so cool. I was gonna go in there and I was gonna rescue you.
He reaches over and ruffles Gwen's hair.
I just rebraided it. Thank you.
And now you're touching it with your grimy hands.
Oh God!
And it's true, Gwen, you have re-sullied your hair. The bath that you took yesterday was all for naught.
If Vebus was still here, he'd snap that away. That grease and grime. It's good to have a wizard around.
I'll figure it out. This is like not even as bad as I normally smell, so just normally I can't smell it. Anyways,
That's another excuse for the bathhouse and lady favors, I guess.
hell yeah, it is. Caelum, you're all right. All right, let's go.
Ow.
Ruddick's shaken and like that was too easy. He keeps like expecting it to like do the horror movie thing and come back, and so he walks over and he grabs the bands, says the command, and it whips all up into a ball again. He tucks it away in his pouch. And
What is your command word for it?
Friends.
Oh, Nimbus.
Okay.
And yeah, he'll like
GB, somebody
Yeah.
did the thing. Chromatic
Did the thing?
vice.
All right, so he'll take his dagger out and he'll just stick it in the thing a couple times, like once for each of his pals, and calls out to Tibbs, Dorgun, Vespas, and
While he's doing that, Kim will walk up and put a hand on his shoulder. Do you know where their bodies are, or?
and then he gets this. He nearly throws up. He all of a sudden he's looking at this beast, and he's like, could they still be inside it? Do you think it would have digested him in a week?
Maybe. I might not look like it, but I'm also a cleric, so I can say a prayer.
That'd be right nice of you.
Take some time to give a funeral rite on top of this dead thing.
Yeah, he'll do. When you said that, he'll put her arm around you, like, all right. And he's still like, he's almost afraid of you because, I mean, holy shit, you just nuked this thing that just ate his friends like a week ago, kicked all of our asses. So he's like freaked out a little bit, but yeah, he appreciates it.
Don't feel too bad about it. We're not usually nearly this well coordinated.
That's true, but we do usually kill the things.
He gives you like right on.
GB, do you want to do the follow thing?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Who
That's
was
okay.
it?
Monochromatic vice. Or vice.
So, monochromatic vice. When somebody becomes a follower and I happen to be on the show, I take this mallet and I hit that guy right in the face.
Yay!
That's for you. Thank you. We love it. We love it. Love it. Love it.
All right. So you have defeated this creature, and as it steadily turns back into a black ichor, what are the lot of you going to be doing?
We think I get paid now?
Yeah, we can.
Well, while we're down here, I think Cori just now thinks of this. She's gonna get out her corvid skull and just see what the which direction it possibly is.
And Ruddick, you see that Cori pulls out what looks to be the skull of a raven, and it begins glowing with a yellowish light, and it seems to point back out of the cave towards the direction of the city.
She just kind of nods and puts it away.
Ruddick will look at Gwen and be like, "What's that about?"
I don't know, something. So, like, how long did it take you? What? Like, I'm sorry. I'm just confused about a lot of things in my life. I'm sorry about your friends.
Thanks.
Now they are avenged.
Yeah. It's not. It hasn't sunk in yet, but thanks. Thank you all.
Yeah. Now the next thing you do is, honor their memory by spending the gold in useful ways.
Like
So-
a drunken bender for a week.
Like lady favors and bathhouses.
No, I meant like fixing the city. But what is wrong with you two?
Wait, what? What's wrong with us?
and Ruddick with the 22 perception knows you're fucking with him.
She wasn't.
No, she wasn't. Oh, okay. Then I guess he knows that you're
That's
not.
not how you
then-
remember someone.
Then I guess he does. Then go.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, maybe I will.
Or plant him a tree or something.
Yeah, let's go get that money.
Sweet.
And Ruddick, you know that planting a tree in Surtshellier is like, you can't do that.
I know.
That would be everyone's money. That doesn't work here.
You could get him a statue out front.
Or like a little plaque on a park bench.
And
Yeah.
if did anybody say any of those things other than the tree? Okay. If
Yeah,
they had,
Arjan would have said his.
oh, then he would have
Caelum
been
would
like,
have said his.
he'd be like, yeah, I think maybe I'll just give a lot of it to orphans. I mean, I'll patch myself up first. But I still can't. Let's
Yeah,
go.
you guys are walking and talking.
We walk and talking.
Yeah, but he he picks up the pace because he was just kind of stumbling and mumbling to himself. And he just kind of like flabbergasted.
Does anybody know about Arjan's business venture of hiring anybody?
No.
No? Okay.
No, not really.
Cool. Then Cori doesn't suggest that.
Okay.
Talk later.
Yeah. So you guys have several hours until you get back to the city proper. And you can see that even though there is no opening for moonlight or sunlight or any kind of way to tell time, it seems like at the end of a particular cycle of time, that is when they'll switch colors on the ever-burning torches that they have around to signify that it is now nighttime within this underground city. And when you make your way back to the journey's end, and Ruddick, you are going to go and make sure all the paperwork's done. In this city, the way that it works, it is a zone of truth, where they ask, is the creature defeated? If you have nothing to hide, you say yes. But there are multiple clerics that are there to kind of make sure that you are indeed speaking truth in this place.
Sure, it's dead.
Yeah, given the monster hunting thing. But you do end up getting your payout. And you can meet up with your new friends at the journey's end. And when the four of you arrive, there is actually there's a performance going on by what seems like a local bard group who call themselves the Chromatics. And when you see these performers, it looks like there are 5 individuals, each wearing large masks that look like dragon heads of each of the different colors of Tiamat. and they are in the midst of performing a very boppin' version of The Day the Dragon Came, and it seems like that is actually a widely acclaimed song within this city itself. It seems like people are just eating up the more rockin' rendition that has been presented.
Guys, we're fucking famous.
Can I just try to get a quick read off of the performers?
Sure. So you see that the make a perception check.
12 perception. If it was insight, then it would be 16.
Okay, so we'll say insight. So you know that what you're getting from this is that they seem very genuine in their appreciation. Like, even though this is kind of a bit for them because dragons are so few and far between, and you know, also seeing the signage, it's chromatics with an X at the end of it, just to further their personas, that they do hold reverence to the dragons that were once here. It seems like they aren't doing this as more of like a farce-like thing. Each of these faces are designed to be almost like the epitome of what a dragon of that specific color would be. And the clothing that they are wearing is very much the like purple robes, light red fringes. Like, this sparks memories of Dragon Cult for you, Arjan, but it seems like that is just how they have styled themselves. And you can
so
see
I wouldn't think that they're actually members of the Dragon Cult.
they might not be actual members of the Dragon Cult, but they seem like if you presented it, they would be open to the idea. And you can see that the Red Dragon Mask is playing a lute and is also the vocalist. And you can see red skin, so you're fairly confident that that is a tiefling underneath that mask. There is a white dragon who is playing a stand-up bass. And the White Dragon Mask has very fair skin. You're assuming that they might be elven in nature. A green mask is on the xylophone, and their stature leads you to believe that they are dwarven. Blue is on percussion, and you think that they're human. And then Black, who is on backing vocals and horns, they have kind of like a grayer skin color, and you think that this might be like a half-orc of some sort. They kind of have the same stature to meet.
And Ruddick's coming with the gold and stuff.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Are they
No, you're back.
you guys-
Like, you basically came after the song finished, and then the chromatics go into their next song in the set. And it seems like they have several songs that are prepped about champions, battles, lost legacies, and riches untold.
All right, and then Ruddick will, put the sack down and, of course, look around, and then he starts taking his 200 out, count it, sit out, and then he just slides the bag over.
All right.
Thanks, Tutor.
And Arjan
Oh,
will
thank
start. And Arjan will start dividing up the rest of it. So
Okay. So there's 1,800 gold to divide between four people.
I'm aware.
450.
No.
Oh yeah, and then we have to pay the party funds.
Well,
So
Ruddick.
let's let the dragon do this, okay?
He's Horde's
Excuse you.
person here.
So, Ruddick, I know you might not be feeling great about this last venture, but are you fully intending to continue on with the guild work?
Don't know. I've been at this too long. Maybe we'll get out of here.
Where will you go?
Out in the daylight, for D&D Jesus' sake.
Bang.
Well, if continuing this mercenary work is something that you want to do, I represent a different group, and I'll do the tyrant security pitch. Now, if you didn't want to continue with mercenary work, that's fine. But that hardware of yours, if you'd be willing to share that information, maybe train some other people to use similar weapons.
Yeah.
I could definitely use someone like you.
I
Although I hope you'd be a little bit better at math. Here's your other 200 gold.
what? That I shorted myself.
You did.
Something. He looks at his stat block. Damn it! He's got like an 8 intelligence. Had to go with the 8 somewhere. He's like, huh. Well, you're obviously not honest. And he goes to say man, and he's like, person. And slides the rest of the coin over. And he's like, oh, hell. Be able to take care of a lot of orphans or whatever with this. And he's a little choked up, but he's like, yeah, I'd love to get more of these things out there. So what do we do?
I'm going to sign over some paperwork. Just sign here.
Oh, wait a minute. And he looks at Cori, and he's like, is this a deal with the devil kind of thing? Do I have to actually read this? And he's looking at you, Cori, like he's asking
Corey's
you.
just innocently watching the band play.
Arjan will actually just explain the terms.
Okay.
There's nothing diabolical about it.
Okay.
I mean, it was written by a devil, but it's not. I'm not coming for your soul.
Devils are lawful evil.
I have what is it? 17 passive investigate or insight. So I'm like, seems like he's telling the truth.
Yeah. Arjan has a -1 in his charisma, so he's not going to be able to screw you over.
Okay. All right. Hell, they killed a beastie, saved the town, and got a job. He signs it with big, vermin bane. Whoosh.
And then Arjan reaches into his pocket and hands you a silver coin on a silver chain.
Some kind of, this is a badge, and he
Yeah.
loops it over his head. And he keeps it on the outside of his uniform, and then looks around. Is this place known to have scum and villainy, or is this a nice tavern? I mean, I know it's the big tavern, but
Journey's End, the owner, the tavern owner, is a no-nonsense tiefling woman who makes sure that everyone is having a nice time. So if there are people who are out to make your experience not a nice time at the Journey's End, she'll put you right.
all right, then he leaves it out until we walk out on the street, and then he'll make sure he tucks it in so nobody can snag it.
Arjan add 100 to the party fund. Caelum slides 100 gold over to him.
Yeah, I'm if 100 gold for everybody, that sound good? Okay. My people will be in touch.
All right. Now, since I'm unemployed, I gotta. And he just takes his hand and kind of lumps a bunch of gold and slides it towards you, like you said 100.
No, Caelum's gonna slide it back.
You keep that.
All right.
Do whatever you want. Go wherever you want.
So when's the job start? He's all confused.
Shit. That many.
So when's the job start?
You'll get more instructions tomorrow, I think.
All right. See you for breakfast, boss.
I won't be giving you the instructions.
Oh, all right. And he just shrugs it off, and he's like waves at the bartender, like, bring around.
Okay. And so yeah, you guys have a pretty easy night at the bar. They're singing old tales of your victory. It seems like word about what's happened in Greenreach hasn't yet hit Surtshellier, but you believe that within the next 10 days or so, you'll probably start hearing more tales of your own heroics. And the night goes on. What is the room situation?
We each got one, right?
Well, we paid for one night.
Okay.
Yeah, Gwen would have wanted her own room last night, but tonight she'll share with someone. Probably Caelum. She doesn't want him out of her sight.
Okay. All right. So are you paying to stay for another evening?
Sure.
Okay.
7 each.
Cori stays in the bar
Okay.
as usual. She doesn't use a room.
Okay. So Cori, you are staying in the bar. Arjan, do you have your own room or are you sharing with the other two?
I'm gonna keep my own.
Okay. So Arjan, you have your own room. Gwen, you and Caelum have your own room. And Reddick, you are left to fend for yourself. And as the night kind of starts getting into the later evening, at least from like your physical wear that you know of, there is actually a knock at your door, Caelum and Gwen. And when you open the door, you find Reddick there.
Oh,
Hey,
what up?
So that whole thing you did for my friends, I mean, is that something you can do for others?
Like, what do you mean? Like kill things?
No, the prayer
prayers? Yeah, I can do that.
Can you? And he gets a little wistful, and you know, he gets a little choked up, and he's like, "Can you maybe do it for someone I?" And he almost starts crying. He's like, "Someone I lost a long time ago."
Caelum will put a hand on his shoulder and nod his head.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be back, Gwen.
I mean, I'll go with you if that's okay. I mean, big city at night.
And he looks at his guns, like,
She didn't see you do shit.
yeah,
He
that is true.
slew the
True,
fool.
but I didn't see you do shit either.
I know, exactly. I'm not taking my eyes off Caelum.
Gwen, I'll be okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm still coming.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
So, Gwen, as a lot of you are making your way out of this bar, Gwen, there is a drinking challenge that is announced. And you see that it looks like if you were to win this challenge, that you would be able to stay for free at this bar for up to 10 days and have all drinks covered.
I like this nonsense that's going on here.
Oh my god, Gwen, did you hear about the drinking challenge?
Yeah, totally. Gwen's gonna take part in the drinking challenge.
All right. So, Gwen, you are going to be participating in the Layers of Hell. The proprietress of this establishment is a tiefling, so she makes it thematic. And when they start describing the kinds of booze that you are going to have to drink consecutively, you realize that your stomach's either going to be upset with you or very upset with you should you win this challenge.
That's cool. I have friends that can
I have a
help with
question about this
hangovers.
arbitrary drinking challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I still unable to get drunk?
While in spring form, you are able to participate.
Wonderful. Perhaps I shall.
Okay.
We'll come back to that later.
Sounds good.
Or never.
So, Cori, are you going to be participating in said drinking challenge with Gwen?
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I think if she can have some fun, she's going to try.
All right. Sounds good. So, Ruddick, you and Caelum end up heading out and are able to talk about the religious aspect of things. Like, Caelum has shown proficiency in magics like your friends never dreamed possible. But then to also be a cleric on top of that, it just seems very much almost like he gets it, for lack of a better term, for lack of better words.
So, I mean, how do you do what you do?
Kind of just fell into me, honestly.
You're like a chosen one.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's a long story. There was a giant in my sleep, and he taught me some stuff, and now I can use that stuff. And it's very ancient and dangerous stuff.
I used to wander the land, and then I found, had an idea. And the next thing I knew. So, life's like that.
Divine inspiration when you never ask for it.
I wouldn't say what I do is divine.
I mean, you do leave people kind of holy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, all right.
And as the two of you are speaking, Ruddick is leading you towards, as he describes it, it is a communal gravesite for the city of Surtshellier. Because they are underground, there is not much in terms of space to actually bury individuals, and cremation is out of the question because of the air quality. So what this city does instead is that they have large mushroom fields that actually grow beneath the city, and they act as decomposition forests, where those who fall within the city and are revered with honor are brought to these places. And as you arrive, you can see what look to be tree-sized mushrooms just growing out of the ground, each one shedding this layer of light blue phosphorescent light upon the area around. And you can see that there are bodies that have been propped up on just against these mushroom fields, or these large mushrooms, that you can see that there are like filaments and tendrils coming from the mushrooms that are coming onto these individuals that are resting up against them. And they are, from just botany, that the mushrooms are pulling nutrients from these individuals. And as Ruddick takes you into this grave field, you see a figure that you didn't expect to see in this place. And as you look up, you see that there is a dwarven man that is signing paperwork and hands it to another one of these workers, and then they end up kind of turning and leaving. And Caelum, as this figure looks up towards you, they smile. And as they smile, the world around you goes quiet, and you can feel your vision focusing in on who you know to be Father Linar. You recognize this figure.
Indoor, what the fuck?
As this world is quiet around you, you don't hear footsteps backing up behind you until you hear the word Nimbus as the iron bands wrap around you.
Sorry, kid.
And this figure, Caelum, looks at you, and you can see coming out from behind one of the mushrooms is a woman with platinum blonde hair, a lovely smile, and deep purple eyes. And you watch as she sort of rolls her shoulders, and as they do, the garbs of Lathander that she bore seem to just shed away. And there is nothing but deep purple robes with what looks to be a large black spot on the middle, and her hair turns into this jet black color as well. Figures that were resting at the sides of these mushrooms also begin to stand up, and it looks like some sort of magical glamour is washing away from them as well. And there are now 7 of these figures that are standing around looking directly towards you. And Elisharis says, "Ugh, I never thought that he would actually come. You've done well, Ruddick. You can leave now." And the dwarven figure smiles and nods, and then looks down towards you, Caelum, and says, "Welcome home, Sabrak. It's been a while."
And Ruddick will say, "They'll help you, kid. You'll get better." And
as Father Liner is speaking, Caelum is chanting the spell for a dimension door. When he says Sabrak, the light in his eyes fade, and the shield drops.
Caelum,
Mm-hmm.
you are inside of a zone of silence, and you are bound by the iron bands preventing you from somatic components.
He says Sabrak. No.
We all mouthed whatever, I guess. So I still would have said it even though no sound came out.
And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful game of Dungeons and Dragons with our friends. RJ is sadly not going to be with us next week, so we had to figure out a way to justify that. I hope you're happy with the results. Hey,
awesome,
RJ.
Bitch. That's in the courtyard. That's
Yeah. Hey, RJ, take us away. Where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm RJ here in the channel, but you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life. And hey, no one knows what I do at work. You can catch me here on Mondays as Caelum, the Shatterkai Cleric Wizard. Not next week, but the week after. And tomorrow, we play Curse of Strahd, run by Denakin of Denakin.com. I play Bartholomew, the human blood hunter ranger werewolf. Things are getting spicy. We are planning an assault on Ravenloft. Yeah? No, we're wrapping things up and then planning the assault. I won't be here next week for that either because of training, but hey, come watch us anyway. You can also catch myself and the lovely LBHackEmUp over at the Pro Restarters channel on Sundays at 8 o'clock p.m. EST, where we play Phase, run on the Cypher system. I'm a demigod.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me here Mondays and Tuesdays. This week, Sunday, I will be on G Game Night's channel on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So your Monster of the Week game. And then after that, I will be on the Phase game with RJ on Pro Research channel. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Cyber, and I'm about to offer somebody a great severance package. You can find me on Twitter at CyberWolf1201, where I shitpost. I'm also on Twitch. I play video games badly and talk about lore. It's a good time. All the archives of that go to YouTube, youtube.com/CyberWolf1201, where you can also find D&D Beyond homebrew tutorials, where I teach you how to put stuff in D&D Beyond for your own campaign usage. And also the podcast that Kyle with an N and I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do parkour, and talk about RPG stuff. I got a Patreon. I'm on DM's Guild. But for RPG stuff, I'm here. I'm here Mondays, where I play Arjan. I'm also here on Thursdays where I play Albus, the Simic Hybrid Sorcerer Bard. Yeah. In Saltmarsh. DanaeKeener.com.
Hey everybody, my name's Danae Keener of the fabled DanaeKeener.com, where you can find me doing drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. I also play Coriander the Elegant Paladin on Mondays, and I run Curse of Strahd on Tuesdays. God, the caffeine is kicking in. I'm drinking some iced coffee, and that's all I have to say. DanaeKeener.com.
That's me. I'm Graybeard of Graybeard's Tavern. I play anywhere between 3 and 5 games a week currently. So check my Twitter. You can see the schedule all there. That's great. I am in the Sunday game with LB and Monsters of the Week, and some things are. It's an amazing show. So show up there. I'm hoping soon we'll be back in Curse of Strahd. I don't know when our guests folks will be. Okay.
It'll most likely be during the training.
Yeah.
Okay.
RJ will be gone, so it makes perfect sense to just have guest game during that day.
So next week.
Awesome. I always love being here. This is as players, please forgive me. Ruddick's got a different story. He's just doing what he does. So don't hate the game, not the player. I love you guys.
Yes. And if you have made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey fella, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, all at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. But however, right now we are going to be going into our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community at large. So, if you have any questions that you would like to ask us, the easiest way to do so is in the Discord that we have set up. So I have posted a link in the side chat. Of course, the description always contains the link to our Discord. So consider joining us on that, and then you can find the answers to all of the questions that plague your mind. And then, before we head out, there is one last after credits scene that I need to have happen, or rather an after credits roll, which is Caelum. I need you to make a religion check with advantage.
I think I know who exactly this is. Wow, that's some dichotomy there. I rolled a 1 and then a 20.
You are very, very, very well aware of the religious iconography that Elisharis wears, that Father Lionar wears, that the other 5 of these figures wear. These are followers of Shar. These are followers of the Dark Goddess.
Oh, this is not who I thought it was, but hey, cool.
And that's where we're
Everything
going
is
to
Raven Queen with you.
So,
I thought it was.
with that, I would like to say once again, GB, thank you so much for joining us on this game. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Great to see you, Matt.